Sanje Jula Zoge Jonam La Chanjo Bardo Dane Gyalso Che Dage Jinso Kebe Sonam Chola Benjir Sanje Dubara Sho Sanje Choda Soge Chonam Chanjo Bardo Dane Gyalso Che Dage Jinso Kebe Sonam Chola Benjir Sanje Dubara Sho Sanje Choda Soge Chonam Chanjo bardo dane gyapsu che dage jinso kebe son dola benjir sanje dubare sho om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum te sham nathagato yavatat te sham chayo nirodha Evam vate mahashramanaye swaha Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum te sham nathagato yavatat te sham chayo nirodha Evam vate mahashramanaye swaha Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum te sham nathagato yavatat te sham chayo nirodha Evam vate Mahashramanaye swaha Deyatha Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhisvatyatha Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhisvatyat Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gate Bodhisvaha. Okay. So what we were doing this morning was creating the basic, giving us the background information as to what we are seeking and what potentials we have. And it is not that we're just like telling stories or giving you a false expectation that you have the potential. No, this is reality, that each one of us, no matter who you are, everyone has the same potential. What potential? For that, we need to really discuss more. 2 sessions is really nothing for that matter. What kind of potentials we have and how do we know that we have this potential? One thing is that I would suggest you to study Aranigarjuna's text, which is the Dharmadhatu Stava. Dharmadhatu Stava, in praise of the Dharmadhatu. Here Dharmadhatu refers to your own potential inside. Each one of us, we have this potential. Only don't think that, don't think that, okay, so I just came here for some meditation, just to relax my mind. No, you have a tremendous potential. You have to discover that. And for that matter, you don't have to rely on blind faith. No need blind faith. Oops, Nicola. That no blind faith. Just try to rationally learn this. You must not deprive yourself of this opportunity to learn your own potentials. This is so important, number one. And of course, the Tibet House, there are many other courses given across the world. There are so many courses happening. And the Tibet House, at the moment, that the courses that we are giving, Tibet House giving is the meant for, particularly for number one, for the working people, on top of the people who can really dedicate their time for these deeper studies. Even those people who cannot spend this much time simply doing some study, your personal work, household chores, university responsibilities, your business and so forth, even they can also take part in this program, number one. Then number two is that that anybody can take part in this, not necessarily that somebody should be a Buddhist and so forth. So that way all these possibilities are created. And so meanwhile in Delhi, I always tell Professor Renugaji that the Tushita is here. So unlike Tibet House there, say Tushitas, they here accessible for anybody to come do meditation and to be here, feel the peaceful environment here. So it's amazing. And in fact, I was also recently talking to Minodiji and Isar that in Tibet, they say Delhi, not only Delhi, anywhere in the world, we require more places like Tushita, where people can go to, they want that peace sanctuary. And at home, maybe, some complications and your, say, the daily responsibilities, works, business and so forth, you have your own tension, stress there. So you need a little bit of peace sanctuary where you go there and you could feel the peace. So in a way, this is so precious. So what I'm saying is that to accommodate some people who cannot spend so much time because of the enormous business or corporate work, jobs and so forth, and some people household chores, and some people may have some financial strains. So just to accommodate all of these, Tibetos, we've created this Nalanda Studies program, which is very easily accessible. And that too, somebody who can do just like 6 months, you have Nalanda certificate course, 1 year you have Nalanda diploma course, and then who can be more dedicated, like 5 years, Nalanda master's course. We have created all different possibilities for the people of today's. It's all happening because of the blessings of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And the Indian government, there, say the financial support to Tibet House for all these many years, that we're able to provide everything so easy, accessible for the people. So now that these two-day session is not 2-session program, right? 1 session gone. So next session we're jumping into the huge ocean, and some of you may struggle swimming, right? If you struggle swimming, I'm lost. What is this, right? Then don't worry. The number of people here who already jumped and they were struggling for all these 1, 2, 3 years time. For example, Repega here, right? Ask them what is that like, swimming like this? How can I sustain, right? Then they will tell you, right? Okay, so they will tell you, and they don't worry. I've been like this for right? And now I'm finding the stability here. Okay, so this is. If you do find a little technical, yes, we're jumping now, right? The first session is very easy, more question answers, interactive. Now jumping. Okay, so the text, I'm not too sure if the online you are getting the screen sharing. Okay, thank you. So we need to have the screen sharing, and yes, online you have it. And offline, I'm not too sure if you have. Most of you have it. Javi, you have it. You have it. Okay, those of you who have it, raise hands. Oh, yeah, most of you have. Good, thank you. Okay, so now let me read this, and then the main points will be put under 5 points, 5 categories for our reflection. And the whole point is that, say, in our life, for example, the COVID-19. When you think of the COVID-19, particularly not now, COVID-19 in those days, 2020, beginning, Delta wave in India, Delta wave, and what was your impression like today? What was that like? Just imagine you go back in time, 2020, and then what was that like? You hear that somebody in my colony is diagnosed with the COVID positive. What was that feeling like? And now my neighbor is tested COVID, the COVID positive, and my family member, right? It becomes closer. What was the feeling like? So don't think of now. Now you're very relaxed. COVID-19, just isolate yourself, quarantine yourself for the 6 days is okay. But in those days, it's about the what? Say what is the English expression? Do or die, right? Either you die or somehow you manage, struggle, or you die. So very scary. You getting it? And we don't want that scary feeling. That is known as the fear. So one part of the purpose of life is to stay away from the fears. This is one part. Number two is that the feeling of joy. The feeling of joy is something that we want. Feeling joy, we want. For example, beautiful moment. For small children, the celebrating New Year, Diwali, Christmas, or whatever celebration you wanted, the 2 days, 3 days, that's even better. So with the happiness, you want it more and more. With the miseries, you don't want it. And with the COVID-19, we try, but we just become, sometimes we became extremely desperate. How many become desperate? Where should I run? Right? There's no place to run. Wherever. In Himalaya also, COVID came. You know that? Himalaya base. Once the Himalaya base, the COVID came, finish. You can't do anything. At least in the big cities, you can run into the hospitals. You may struggle with not getting hospital bed, but still, at least there is hope there. But the Himalaya came, finish. We can't do anything. So we were so desperate. Feeling of uncertainty. The meaning of the feeling of uncertainty, which was expressed in the text, all these 1,000 years since the time the Buddha was taught, but then it became so alive in our mind when the whole world was stuck with COVID-19. So that is one thing which we want to get away from. Then number two is that the joys that we want as numerous, as expansive, the joy. For example, so what's the purpose of life? Joy? No, I don't know about joy. I just want money. I just want the adventure. I just want a good family. I would just want the good health. Why do you want good health? So that I'll be happy. Why do you want money? So that I can do anything and then I'll be happy. Why do you adventure? I want to be happy. What it is? It's all about happiness. So in short, we see that we have to identify what you are seeking. As a girl, as a boy, we have to really identify what you are seeking. Following this religion, that religion, it doesn't matter. Say they following this, this profession, that profession. What are you seeking out of this? What are you seeking? Right? Oh no. So what, Tushita? What is happening? Some philosophy teaching happening. I'm not interested in philosophy. It doesn't matter. But what do you want? I want non-philosophy. So what? So that I'll be happy. Some say, no, non-philosophy is too dry. Something philosophy is so good, right? So why? With philosophy, I'm happy. Again, in both cases, with philosophy, non-philosophy, without philosophy, you are actually looking for the happiness, not for the philosophy, not for the non-philosophy. You're seeking happiness. This we have to identify yourself so well. Once you identify yourself so well, then next question is miseries. It happens to us. How does it happen? What is the mechanism of miseries? And the happiness that we are seeking. What is the mechanism of happiness? Once in a while we are happy. Oftentimes we are not happy. So what is the mechanism of the happiness? What is the mechanism of the miseries? We have to identify them. Once we identify them, then we will come to know that the real source of happiness is within us. And miseries is something which, say, with the wrong thinking, disturbed thinking, then the misery is created. Otherwise, what is inside us is the source of ultimate happiness. is within us. So for this we have to study Nagarjuna's text. What is that? No? Dharmatadu stava. In praise of Dharmatadu. Dharmatadu meaning your true nature. Your true nature is extremely beautiful. You, I'm not talking about you, you meaning like the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. You, and me, each one of us. We have, whatever religion that you're following, even if you are anti-Buddhism, it doesn't matter. You have this treasure within. This treasure is so precious. Never underestimate your potential. This treasure, you have to uncover this treasure. Discover this first and then uncover it. Discover and uncover it too. This is a job. So for this matter, what we said this morning was that what makes for example, say there's for example Minodaji, and then the young father who said that, who was just running to tears to say that, holding the hand of the 1-day-old daughter. It was the most beautiful moment in his life. So what was really happening? Extremely beautiful feeling is coming within that. That's coming from inside. Why is this coming with respect to this particular little girl and not with anybody else? Because of the feeling of affection, love. So love is the one which actually triggers the treasure inside us. So this love, it is with one person, genuine love. It was one person, it's just one feeling activated. If it was 10 people, 10 times activated. If with the infinite beings, infinite times activated. This is known as infinite happiness. And so this is something that we really need to think of very seriously. And then you will gain conviction that bodhicitta is the one. That this is, of course, for others, but for me, this is the most precious thing to awaken the 24/7 feeling of joy, infinite happiness. Okay, then the next one is that with respect to the fears, the undesirable experiences of the miseries. What is miseries? Miseries is a form of fear. What is fear? Fear is loss of freedom. Let me repeat it. What is misery? I don't want misery. I don't want suffering. I don't want stress. These are nothing but the form of what we call as the fear. Say, I have the fear of becoming sick. I have the fear of losing my job. I have the fear of losing our family business going down. I have the fear that something wrong will happen to my family. So the fear and the miseries, these two are synonymous. And what is a fear? If you again check it, you see it's a loss of freedom. Say, I don't have the freedom not to have the sickness. I don't have the freedom not to have my family business go down. I don't have the freedom of not to have something wrong going to my family and so forth. So loss of freedom. So in simple terms, the miseries boil down to the loss of freedom. So how is the loss of freedom happening? Loss of freedom is happening because of lack of knowledge. For example, say my mom, who passed away because of the delivery complications. After me, a twins was conceived, and she didn't know that. It was like back then, like 50 years ago, that she died because of the delivery complication. Because they did not really have the facilities, the knowledge, how to, now what is the cesarean, right? All these are things made so easy. So in those days, no. You die or struggle to live. That's the choice. And there's no third choice. But today, all these, if my mom is alive today, she could have easily been saved from this complication. So the point is that lack of knowledge is what attracts our miseries. Say, for example, to give you a simple example, that let's say that if you are the professor in physics, average professor, not a top-ranking professor, average professor in physics, and the vice chancellor tells you that, hey, so our university is hosting 1,000 PhD in the physics PhD students from all over the world, and you have to address these PhD students. You have to give the address. Are you happy? Not happy? Very excited. Now is the opportunity to give lecture to 1,000 PhD students in physics, the top students from all over the world. Right? You're happy, Rebecca? Very happy? Extremely happy? Are you sure? Okay, she's challenging me, I know. Okay, anyone else? You happy? Not happy? Be honest. Yes? Okay, both. The professors experience both. And don't forget that I have given the qualification that you are mediocre professor. Don't forget that. You're happy? Not happy? Yes, not happy. Chavi, not happy. Why not? Very scary. Why scary? Because future Nobel laureates are here. I'm just a mediocre professor, not the high-level professor, right? And these are the top-ranking students who are the future Nobel laureates in physics. They can put me into any question. I'll be in problem. You getting it? So you are nervous. Are you happy? Not happy. Why you're not happy? Because of lack of knowledge. Because your knowledge is not as profound. Then you request Albert Einstein. Hey, sir, would you mind giving a lecture on my behalf? Right? Do you think he'll be nervous? No, it's just a cup of tea for him. But he may feel bored. He may not be too happy. But he'll not be, unhappy as well. So for him, the knowledge is so refined that for him this is very easy. So, lack of knowledge attracts miseries. Lack of knowledge attracts miseries. And oftentimes, unnecessary problems are because of the lack of knowledge. In the family fights. Okay, say some young couples, my friends who are not married, gradually they get married, and then they come to me, Geshe, if we are a young couple, please give us advice. What advice would you give us? Advice that I give is that don't fight over the trivialities. Don't fight over the trivial things, small things. And then they come after 2 years, 3 years, says, we are very right. Most of our fights are about the trivial things. Right? So, who kept the mug here? Who kept the mug here? You kept it. So, no, I did not keep it. You kept it. I did not. You kept it. I did not. The one escalates. Right? So, what is the mug there or there? What's up there? And then, I said, where is this paracetamol? I could not find it. It's there. No, I kept it there. No, you kept it there. Right? No, the paracetamol is not here or there. It should be in your stomach. Because you'll become sick after this. After this fight, you become sick and you have to take the paracetamol. It's not outside. It should go inside. You're getting it? This is a problem. So, there is a lack of knowledge. What's the problem? Why should you waste your energy over this? So, lacking this knowledge is waste of energy. Why should I waste my energy just fighting over the trivialities? So even this much of knowledge is missing. How can you think of emptiness? How do you think of tackling emptiness? And all the sophisticated topics. You're getting it? So in future, if you have any complication at home over the trivialities, don't forget this text with 5 very technical points. And I was studying these 5 technical points. At the moment, I can't even deal with the trivial things. Very trivial, the matters. Okay. So with this in mind, so the point is that, one, for the joy, what attracts the joy is your unconditional love. What attracts the fearlessness, what creates fear, misery is lack of knowledge. And how to create the fearlessness is creating the knowledge. Have the right knowledge and expand your heart. 2 things. Don't just say that knowledge is nothing without heart, beautiful heart. Beautiful heart without the knowledge can create the chaos. Beautiful heart without the knowledge can create chaos. Big problems cannot be solved. For example, like Delhi here, about how many millions? 19 million, 30 million people here, and with that traffic, if the traffic lights are missing, then Delhi cannot work. So who created the traffic lights? Heart or the brain? Brain. You're getting it? Heart is required, but the brain must be there. Without this brain, no matter how big your heart is, you cannot create these traffic lights to solve the severe traffic congestion. So without the heart, with the brain, it can damage, it can destroy. It is a brilliant brain to destroy the world most effectively. You're getting it? So heart is required. So which of two wings is more important for the eagle to fly? Right wing or the left wing? Both. You're getting it? When you say both, it should you should actually mean that. You should actually mean that. Yet yes, it really means that both are required. With the right, without the left, again the right cannot fly. With the left, without the right, again it cannot fly. We require both. This deep conviction must come to us. Okay. With this mind in our life, what should we be doing? Is we have to practice two things. One, to expand your heart all the time. Number two, love for knowledge. Keep learning something new. Love for knowledge, there are so many kinds of knowledge. Some garbage knowledge are there, Don't learn these. For example, Instagram, WhatsApp, this is a mainly garbage knowledge. You're getting it? There is something solid knowledge to be learned. For example, like this text, extremely profound. Just one page, and you can spend a whole life exploring this to see continuously seeing the wonder after more profound wonder. And that too is not about somebody blessing you and then you get something. No, you discover yourself, your profound, potential insight. Okay, so with this in mind, say how to build this knowledge, what kind of knowledge is required, and how to build this compassion. The two things are required. So for this text is so beautiful. Noble Mahana Sutra, Wisdom at the Hour of Death. Okay, ready? Okay. In Tibetan, Papa Daga Ishi, Shechawa Teba Shimbudo, homage to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Thus did I hear at one time, while the Blessed One was residing in the palace of the King of the Gods in the Akanishta, in the heaven, the Buddha taught the Dhamma to the entire assembly. The Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Akashagarbha. So in fact, they are, of course, there are millions of Bodhisattvas. Bodhisattvas meaning somebody who has the heart, who has developed the heart to such a high level, and who has developed wisdom to such a high level. Wisdom and the heart both. So there, the Buddha is with, for the Bodhisattvas, there are particularly 8 prominent Bodhisattvas of high level to the level what is known as highest level, which is known as the 10th Bodhisattva ground. 10th Bodhisattva ground, and the next moment you become a Buddha. So of these, one of which is Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Akashagarbha. Akashagarbha, Namgyenyingpo. In Tibetan, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Akashagarbha then paid homage to the Blessed One. Blessed One is the Buddha, and asked, Blessed One, how should we think about the mind of a Bodhisattva who's about to die? So, now the Bodhisattva Akashagarbha is asking the Buddha on behalf of all of us, how should one prepare ourselves closer towards the death? What kind of preparation is required? So for this, in the Tibetan tradition, they say oftentimes, so you die and then you do a little bit you mourn over the death, and then you cremate the body, and then some rituals perform. This one. In the Tibetan tradition, yes, you mourn, you perform the astrological calculations are done to see when to cremate the body and so forth, and what kind of rituals to be done. Okay, it's more like the same. Then then some more thoughtful people, or more wiser people, what they do is that they do something to actually help the deceased to take a swift journey to the next life. Actually, not just ritualistic. For example, like engaging in generosity, or say inviting the scholar practitioners, let them actually meditate on bodhicitta, let them meditate on the wisdom emptiness, and the process of the dissolution of the mind. So they do that and then dedicate this to the deceased. So this journey is much easier. And then the best thing is, and then of course there's the tradition known as the POA. POA meaning transference of consciousness. So where, as they say, a master, supposed to be a master, then the master performs some rituals and so forth, where your mind is ejected from your body to the heavenly abode, like with your root guru and so forth. Okay, which is more the appealing? If you are given a choice, which would you do? Second, first, second, third, fourth. The last one is where somebody ejects your mind from the body and your mind connected with your guru or in the heavenly abode. Which do you prefer? The last one, right? So that you don't have to do anything, right? So in this life, you just chill out, right? And then finally you die. Hey, please make sure that you invite one guru, right? And then eject my mind and then connect with the divine, right? Okay. Yes, this is something which is very commonly seen in the Tibetan community. You getting it? Very commonly seen. For example, last year after our Deer Park Institute program, I think the Madhyama Avatara teaching there. After this, then with a gap of like 20 minutes, my foster home mother in the school, she passed away. And then she was already 92 and 93, and I was actually going that direction, and I got the news, and I drove, and I could not see her while she was still alive, but it was just about a half an hour gap. I reached there, she passed away, half an hour. And then I did my prayers. I did my prayers for her, meditated on bodhicitta, emptiness, taking the aspirin bodhisattva vow, and so forth in front of her corpse. And then later on, the person who does this end job of taking the body to the cremation ground and so forth. So that person asked my sister if everything's done, and she said yes. Geshe came and he did the end puja, and the person said that if the transference of consciousness that's done, right, and in my mind I know. It is just the trend being followed, right? Trend being followed, right? So if I tell you that, say when you die, then I will eject your mind and connect you with the Albert Einstein, and you become a Nobel in physics. These are all stories. These are all stories, right? To become a Nobel in physics, to your mind to be connected, you have to practice the derivatives, so E equals MC square, quantum mechanics. You have to do all the derivatives. Without doing this, you just sit idly, chill out, and then at the time of death, connect your mind to the Albert Einstein, and then become a Nobel in physics. It's just stories, right? So therefore, we should not be deceived by the stories. So these practices, then where these practices came from? Where? Came from where? Came from standard teachers or somebody cooked up him? They came from standard teachers. For whom? For example, say I buy a car, right? Okay, I shouldn't say I buy a car. People may, again make a snippet of this. Geshe is so fond of car. Look at this, proof. They'll cut it and say that I buy a car, right? Okay, so I say somebody wants to buy a car. Somebody wants to buy a car, and the car seller says that the mileage is the 100 kilometers per liter. Rebecca, tell me, mileage good or bad? 100 kilometers per liter. Okay, anyone? Extremely efficient, right? And then you drive this car. Young ones, we have to ask the younger ones. Yes, you are young. Good? Very good. Then you drive this car, you buy this car and drive on a very bumpy road, right? In just 20 kilometers, the liter gas is gone. And it's at 100 kilometers and it's 20 kilometers is gone. Mileage is 100 kilometers, but it is only 20 kilometers. So the mileage 100 kilometers provided all the conditions are intact. You're getting it? This practice will work perfectly well provided all the conditions are intact. From the side of the students, you should be highly realized. From the side of the teacher, highly realized. All these situations are intact, then this practice will be effective. You can eject somebody's mind. You're getting it? So, say for example, let's say that, okay, so I don't want to digress too much. In other words, there are some people, they miss this part. They miss this part. So we have to really prepare ourselves. What kind of preparation is required? So it says that, generally speaking, just for information, when somebody dies, so the mind travels wherever to the next life, to be connected to the next life. So this, say the person dies in a place A and a place B, well, let's say 1,000 kilometers separated, to be taken birth in place B. So in between, this mind has to travel. This mind has to travel. And of course, if you have a question, how do we know there's a mind different from the brain? These are all different discussions. And if you are very keen on this, join the Narendra Master's course. So it seems like advertising, but it is. Right? Okay. So you have to join that studies. Otherwise, we don't have time for that. So the mind has to travel to the next life. So next life means next life is taking place in place B. And place A and place B separated by 1,000 kilometers. Let's say 1,000 kilometers. So this mind has to travel. So in between, what is that state like? It's not the present person. Present person already died. It's not the next person. Next person, you have to take birth. Next person is to take birth in place B. So in between, what is that state? That state is known as, in Tibetan, known as Pardo. In English, it is known as intermediate state. Intermediate state, and this whole description of this intermediate state. What is that like? Say, for example, we have the five senses, eyes, ears, nose, and the intermediate beings, they have the five senses intact. And the intermediate beings, the lifespan is only 7 days. Within 7 days, if you cannot find a place to take birth, invariably you die. You die and again take birth as the next intermediate state. Again, another maximum lifespan, 7 days. So like this, 7, 7, 7. Finally, you will find a place to take birth after 7 rounds. 7 into 7 is 49. This is known as 49 days. So in the Tibetan tradition, or after the demise of the person, the people who are the relatives, friends, whoever, are the helping the last days, these people will make sure that, generally speaking, they will make sure that they do these special pujas, practices, so forth, do prayers for you for the next 49 days. Because the chance for you not to take birth the future is maximum 49 days. After 49 days, somehow you will take birth somewhere. Okay. And how these travel. So we talk about the speed of light. At the moment, it says that the speed of light is the greatest speed that you can find. And whereas this mind, how the mind travels, is faster than the speed of light. Speed of light from the sun, it takes 8 minutes to reach the planet Earth. Whereas the mind can travel from the sun to here, from another galaxy to here, within a split of a second, just reach there. So the movement of the mind is extremely fast. And it's not just the stories and so forth. The mind is associated with the movement of the mind is related to the subtle energy. And subtle energy is what the physics cannot touch at the moment. So the subtle energy, which is much subtler than the photon. We talk about in physics, a photon. The photon, the speed is like, say, the light, speed of light, and the 8 minutes from sun to here. And whereas the mind, even from galaxies, far away galaxies, which would take like million years to reach, within a split second it'll reach the place. So the mind travels that fast. And then this mind, when it's ejected, the mind of the Pardo state, it is not being blocked by any obstacles like the walls, the mountains. They cannot block you. They're like, for example, like the sound penetrating, or what are the examples? Like the laser beam, which penetrates through, everything. It just penetrates through to travel. So it says that it gets stuck only in two places. One is, say, the place below, just below the Buddha's seat in Bodh Gaya. That is known as the Vajra seed. Vajra meaning Vajra. Vajra, in one sense, it has many connotations. In one sense, Vajra means the indestructible diamond. And diamond on planet Earth, it is considered as the one which is hardest, with strongest material, strongest or the hardest. So this is a place where your mind can get stuck, can be obstructed. One. Then the other one is the mother's womb. It is in the mother's womb because of your karmic connection. Your karmic connection, where your karmic connection is there, it gets stuck there. Your mind is trapped there. So these are only two places. Otherwise, no physical structures can obstruct this mind from moving. Okay, so having said this, I'm reading the text once more. The Bodhisattva Master of the Akashagarbha then paid homage to the Blessed One and asked, Blessed One, how should we think about the mind of a Bodhisattva who is about to die? So we're talking about the Bodhisattvas. At the same time, who are the Bodhisattvas? Don't think of the Bodhisattvas somewhere else, like Aranyaka, Guru Padmasambhava, Laman Tsongkhapa, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and so forth. Think of yourself. When you remove your mental, say that when you, as the Bodhisattva, Bodhi is a full awakening. Somebody who wants to awaken one's potential fully. Bodhi, Sattva. Sattva meaning the courageous one. Who is that person? Who they say somebody who wants to say they create absolute peace in the world, or somebody who wants to create peace in one's own family, which requires more courage. Somebody who works for the world. So therefore, somebody who wants to work for all sentient beings, that is the most courageous one. These are known as the bodhisattvas. So you can become a bodhisattva when you generate this feeling for my own benefit, for the benefit of all other sentient beings as well, that the most meaningful thing to do in my life is to awaken the seed of perfection within me. The desire to awaken the seed of perfection within me. So when that desire happens or is triggered in a very spontaneous way, at that point you become a bodhisattva. So you as a bodhisattva, meaning that I want to be awakened, I want to attain the bodhi, full awakening. When you say I want to, you have to do something. What should you do? So these are the 5 points to be done. Okay, so it says, Blessed One, how should we think about the mind of a bodhisattva who is about to die? The Blessed One replied, Akashagarbha, when a bodhisattva is about to die, he or she, so here in English translation we have he, otherwise in Tibetan there's no he or she. In Tibetan it is neutral. So in English you have to write something. When I was in Cambridge, 2003, when most young ones were not born, right? What's your name? Nivita. Nivita, when you were not born? Okay. So I learned that it's not necessary you have to use these the pronouns like he or she. You can say they. This is what I learned in Cambridge from my teacher. Okay, so in Tibet there's no, but then in English some people may feel that it's always referring to something good happens, referring to he, something bad happens is referring to she, right? This is not the case. This is how it so happens that in English this is how it is translated. Otherwise we can say, I prefer to write it like the Blessed One replied, Akashagarbha, when a bodhisattva is about to die, he or she or he, or they cultivate the wisdom of the hour of death. The wisdom of the hour of death is as follows. Okay. So what should be that wisdom that we need to cultivate? We don't think of the bodhisattva somewhere else. Each one of us, we can prepare now. We can become a bodhisattva ourselves. We have to prepare these. What do we tell me? Okay, shall I really prepare for these myself? These are qualities of bodhisattvas, right? Okay, first question is, how many of you
if you come across that time that, okay, now I'm leaving the world, right? Okay, if there's a rebirth, then I must take a favorable rebirth. Reasons? All right. For that, we require preparation. You're getting it? We require preparation. So when you get when you don't feel that I'm going to die today, right? So all these things you may say, well, another bodhisattva. So you have to apply this to ourselves anytime. So wise people can make preparation way ahead of time. Unwise people will just meet with a situation at hand and then get lost. Now I don't have time to prepare. That is too late. Unwise. Wise people are the people who can see these things way ahead of time. Out of time. Okay, now when this time it'll happen to me anytime. If it does happen, it's very scary. I should be prepared. So I have to prepare from now. These are the wise people. And who do you want to be? A wise or unwise? Wise, raise hands. Rebecca. Right. Okay, wise. We want to be wise. If we want to be wise, we have to prepare from now. You're getting it? Now. When you go back, oh, yeah, this text is amazing. And then you fill it there, keep it there. And again, Instagram, right? Or Facebook. You are not wise. You say, I want to be wise, but you are not wise. Okay. So let's see what a wise person should prepare. The wisdom of the hour of death is as follows. All phenomena are naturally, okay, these are one line requires minimum 5-10 years of studies, reflection, meditation. But I'm going to give you a gist of this within a few minutes, a gist of this. And but then it's a gist. But to really feel this, you have to study extensively. Once there was one lady who attended one of my retreats, Bodhicitta retreats. And then after several months, again, she came to meet me. And then she said, Geshe, meditation and emptiness is just amazing. It's amazing. And then I said, okay, good. And she said that it's amazing when I do it regularly as a regular meditation. But when I really confront with challenges, difficulties, emotional turmoils, emotional, the disturbance, there when I apply the meditation or emptiness, it doesn't work. Then I said that how long did you practice emptiness? For 10 years, 20 years? He said, no. Right? Then I said, how long? 10 months. She said, no. Then study for how long? I just came to a retreat. There's 1 week. I say 1 week. 1 week, that 2 weeks. Every day, every hour? No. Just 5, 6 the hours a day. That's it. Minimum you have to study for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years on this. And then this lady said that, then I said, okay, I'll give you 2 choices. You have to go through Ayo. Either 2 years Ayo or lifelong Ayo. Right? If you study 2 years, you will have Ayo for 2 years. You said Ayo, 2 years, right? And if you don't want to go for 2 years Ayo, you have to go for lifelong Ayo. There's no, you have to choose between these two. There's no third choice, right? Okay, likewise for all of us. Okay, so it says that point number one, all phenomena are naturally pure. So one should cultivate a clear understanding that there are no entities, meaning that everything is like dream. Say, how many of you in your life, in your dream, you suffered, in your dream? In other words, you are being affected by the nightmare, reasons, with a scary dreams. Yes. Okay. Anyone who likes to share your experience? What happened in the dream? Quick, anyone? Thank you. Anyone? What kind of scary dream? Anyone? Yes, yeah. Nivita? Your parents? Just you. Okay. Okay. So what's the problem? Okay, anyone else? Okay, the Lavi. Somebody who Lavi does not like is giving so much of torturing Lavi in the dream, right? And then he was so scared. He was scared? Okay, why were you scared? It was dream. Huh? Lavi, tell me. Why were you scared? It was dream. Hey, why were you scared? It was just dream. Nivi, it feels real, right? The person who was the person who dislikes you, creating the torturing you, it was seen as so real, right? So real. Real meaning what is dream is seen as real. You're getting it? What is dream is seen as real. And how many of you agree with me that if any emotional stirs happen in your dream, it's because of the belief that the dream was real? Raise hands. Good. So when will you be free from this mental stir or the emotional stir or the fear? Quick. Anyone? When you recognize the dream as dream, the Lavi, you agree? Lavi. No, but the point is that if you discover that it was dream, the dream as dream, you will be freed from the fear. Yes. But how it happens is a different story. It is happening subconsciously and so forth. That's a different story. What we are saying is that if you identify the dream as dream, that fear will dissolve. You agree? Good. Yes.
Actually, we compare both the situations. They are very similar because actually real life, if we analyze properly, is non-existent as the dream. It's
Yes.
comes from the mind.
Exactly. So this will come the second. First, let's do with what Lavi said and what Nivita said, and then we'll move to your point second. Your point comes this next. Okay. Now how many agree with two of them? Where the Nivi and Lavi, right? Who said that to get away from this fear in the nightmare, what you do is that you have to discover the dream as dream. How many agree with two of them? Raise hands. Good. Next question. How will you discover the dream as dream? What should we do to discover the dream as dream? Anyone? Yes. Wake up. You're getting it? Wake up. Let's not forget it. Wake up. So this because of this that the Buddha is revered as the fully awakened one. You're getting it? Fully awakened Lavi? Fully awakened Lavi, right? Fully awakened Nivita. You're getting it? So we have to be, each one of us, we should become fully awakened. You're getting it? What's the next question? How to wake up. Not in the master's calls. You're getting it? Okay. So what is said here is that the Blessed One replied, Akasha Garbha, when a bodhisattva is about to die, he should cultivate the wisdom. He or she should cultivate the wisdom of the hour of death. The wisdom of the hour of death is as follows. All phenomena are naturally pure. Naturally pure meaning that, so like the dream, the nasty person, let's say the nasty person, actually nasty person was non-existent. Yes? You see that as a nasty person. How did this nasty person come to you, the Lavi? How did it come to you? Your mind created that in the dream, yes? Your mind created that. From the object is empty. From the object is clean. There's no nasty person there, right? In your dream, you dream of very dirty place. How many of you once in a while dreamt of very dirty place? It's so dirty here, dirty there, dirty here, dirty there. Raise hands. You wake up, all this dirty dissolved into your mind. There's no dirty there. It's so pure. You're getting it? So whatever is happening, as what Venerable Kundula, right? What Kundula said is that what is happening in the dream is similar is the real life. Real life was just as a dream is empty of the objective reality. It's not real. It's coming from your mind. Same, a dream is subjective or objective. Dream is subjective, objective. Subjective. Subjective meaning that dream is what your mind creates. Likewise, say the dream, mirage. Mirage is subjective, objective. Subjective is, again is what your mind creates. So likewise, even what we are seeing here in the waking state, what Venerable Kundula said, even what we see here, whether we in Tushita and so forth, this is all like being in a dream. They're also subjectively real. They're not objectively real. So just as we know that the dream is dream by waking up, we have to wake up from the unconventional dream to know that whatever is happening here is all subjective. To know this, we have to wake up from the unconventional dream. So dream, there are two kinds, conventional dream and unconventional dream. From the conventional dream, we have been waking up every day. From the unconventional dream, we have never woken up. We have never woken up from the unconventional dream. Because of this, they'll be constant in the dream created by the ignorance, and we believe them as real. And because of which all the emotional turmoils, the emotional stirs happen. Sadness, anger, attachment, greed, all these happens. And the moment we say we get a glimpse of emptiness, for example, things that you feel so attached to. Say, for example, somebody who's so attached to cheesecake. Anyone, how many like cheesecake? Raise hands. Like, it becomes very serious. right? Okay. So say like cheesecake, anything that we feel attached to, anything, believe it or not, you get a glimpse of emptiness of the object to which you feel attached to. So in fact, this is how we have been suffering in samsara from time immemorial till now. If you get a glimpse of this, it becomes like you feel yourself like a small child. That small child crying over the sand castle made of sand. You make the castle out of sand, and somebody destroys it, and then you cry. Right? What is this? Right? After all, you have to leave this. You cannot carry this. It'll dismantle on its own. But when somebody dismantles it, there's emotional attachment to this too strongly, believing that it is so tangible, solidly there. This is our illusion. So if you get a glimpse of this, till we get a glimpse, there's no choice. We have to sometimes up, down, up, down, up, down. Sometimes we were born as a nice person. Sometimes then with the influence of bad people, again, we become such a horrible person. For example, Angulimala, right? The one who killed 999 people.
Somebody who killed 999 people, right? Say he was born as an extremely decent boy, and then meeting with the wrong guidance, he started engaging in killing 999 people, becoming such a notorious person in the whole town. And then again meeting with the Buddha, again he transformed. He becomes such a divine being. So this is how, it ups, down, up, down, up, down. And life, the samsara is extremely scary from that point of view.
That only if you wake up. Okay, so to make sense out of this, let me say that in a dream, sometimes we have
pleasant dreams. Within the same dream, pleasant dream, unpleasant dream, pleasant dream, unpleasant dream presents. Within the same thing, pleasant, unpleasant fluctuation happens. And then as what Lavi said, that who decides this dream? Who decides? One problem with the dream is that, one problem with the dream is say Professor Renuka says that we all will have audience with His Holiness the Dalai Lama, right? And then in the dream, right? It's amazing, right? So say that how many of you like to have this dream that Professor Renuka is offering all of us to have audience with His Holiness, and not only that, then His Holiness meeting Professor Renuka, who are these? These are from Tushita Center. Oh, why not we have a cup of tea with me? You're happy, not happy? And somebody said, wow, right? Okay, so how many like to have this dream tonight? How many like to have this dream tonight? All of us. Now tell me, who is going to have this dream tonight? Raise hands. Why not? Who is going to have this dream tonight? Why not? It's a very pleasant dream. Why not? Yes, why not? No, he's in the dream. He's in the dream. Right. He could not follow my question. Okay, Nivita, tell me. Okay, it's not that I don't want to have it. I want to have it, but I cannot say that I will have this dream tonight because I don't have the control of the dream. I don't have the freedom to choose the dream. You're getting it? Somebody else is dictating on this dream. It's not me. Right? And who is dictating on this dream? That's a different story. That I'll tell you later. For time being, we don't have the freedom to choose the dream. So that is known as, however pleasant the dream is, there's an element of lack of freedom. Lack of freedom is misery. Misery is samsara. You getting it? So all what is happening around, pleasant things happening, they are like a form of dream. We don't have freedom to decide, okay, after 5 years, I'll do like this. What we plan, this is just a plan. Whether it will be accomplished, not sure. Because it's a dream. Dream meaning unconventional dream. Only when you wake up from this, then you will get the total freedom. That is the awakening, right? So what makes us to sleep? That is a mental stain. So how to cleanse this? Cleaning this, then the metal stains will be removed and you will wake up. Once you wake up, you get the total freedom. That is the absolute freedom or liberation. Okay. So what is being taught here? All phenomena are naturally pure. Objectively, everything is empty. Everything is pure. Pure meaning that everything is empty of objective reality. Nothing is really there. But we see them as objectively real. Okay, just pick up something, whatever you have, and show that to me. Pick up something and show that to me. Okay. And now, not only show that to me, also look at it yourself. Okay, our Shantila from Bangalore is holding a glass. Right? Okay. So they now look at it and see how it appears as objectively real or as subjectively real that your mind is creating. It's how does it appear to you? Objectively real. You're getting it? Which means seeing the dream as objectively real happens in the dream or outside the dream. Okay, seeing the dream as objectively real happens outside the dream or inside the dream. If you say outside dream means you are still in dreaming. You're getting it? Okay, so it happens in the dream. You're getting it? So to see that the whatever is happening inside, like the rosary, the glass, or whatever you have picked up, it appears so objectively real, which means that the moment you see them as objectively real, you are still in a dream. Which dream? Unconventional dream. So how to see this as a dream that is from the object is not real, it's purely subjective. For that you have to wake up from the sleep of ignorance. So it says that all phenomena are naturally pure. So one should cultivate the clear understanding that there are no objective entities. There's no objective entities. So from this what happens is, look, say your mind, you want to keep your mind at ease. There are many ways of easing your mind. One is that, for example, let's say that you've heard about the loss of, you heard about the loss of somebody, person. And that person, from your calculation, you said that it is your mother. From your calculation. So how you conjecture that it must be my mother. how the person describing that, person who is sick, or sick, let's say sick, it's, I can't think of anybody else other than it must be my mother, right? So meanwhile, they say in your home, somebody they plays a prank come in the form of a ghost, right? And you have so much of fear, and your fear, say when you discover that there's so much fear, and you discover that it is your brother, then your fear subsides, because you get the wisdom to see that this is a prank, this is not the real ghost. You getting it? So with the wisdom, the fear dissolves. But your corner of your mind, still you have the worry of that person who is sick, who I heard, must be my mother, right? So cognitively, you are able to see that this is is a prank. So your fear dissolves, one sense. But that mind, where the fear dissolves, your mind is still, maybe my mom is sick. So that is same. So within, on the subjective level, your mind, there's a little bit of still uneasiness within you. You getting it? So there are two things. So to remove all your problems, you should you should know the, what? You should know the prank as prank. Ease comes, and then you should know that this person who is who is sick happens to be another lady with the same name as my mom, not my mom, right? So mentally you should be at ease, and cognitively you should be at ease. In other words, cognitively you have to know the reality. Know the reality that everything is like a dream. That is the philosophy of emptiness of objective reality. So that is, for this you have to know the philosophy of the objective reality. Then they say cognitively, they say effectively, your mind should be also at ease. So now the second part is your mind, is that all phenomena are subsumed within the mind of enlightenment. Mind of enlightenment meaning bodhicitta. When you become a bodhisattva, when you generate the genuine bodhicitta, then your affection towards only one side, my mom, my husband, my wife, my children, and this will subside. Then the sense of concern will be broadened. It's not that you will lose the attachment to your children. It's not that you will lose the attachment to your parents. This attachment, affection are there. It is expanded, right? So one time, and there was one girl, and I don't know what is the problem, because all the problems all these stories related to the girls. Right? My meeting with the girls. So for a retreat, there was one gentleman and the girlfriend, both of them, they're very close to me, and particularly the men. And one time the girl was missing, only the boy was there. And I thought that maybe the girl, had to go somewhere else, could not. Otherwise, she'll be there. One, that her boyfriend is organizing the program, and then number two, that I'm there. So for two reasons, she'll be there. But she's not there. And I do not say anything, because complications anywhere, wherever, some complications are there. What complications, I don't know. Then then it was the end of the program. I got a message that this girl wants to have a private meeting with me. I said, what happened? Which means that she's not gone elsewhere. She must be here. So why now? What's the problem? I said, yes, okay. Then we met. And then she started to complain about the boyfriend. Complain. I know her boyfriend so well. He's a very decent boy. And she complained. And even the decent boy, they have also complication, I know. Then I said, tell me, you want a bodhisattva boyfriend? She started to laugh. So how she was describing is that this boy, the boyfriend is not good because of this, which means that the qualities that she's expecting, they are only with the bodhisattvas. So you look for a bodhisattva boyfriend. And she started to laugh. And I said that If you go for a Bodhisattva boyfriends are very boring. They will not spend even time with you. They're concerned about the whole world. They will not spend time with you. Right? They will not even eat food with you. They have so many other things to do. So it's more boring. So what do you want? You become none better. Right? So with this kind of boy, you have a problem. Bodhisattva, you have more problem. So you cannot be with a boy. So better become none. Yeah. Okay. So the point is that with this, okay. So bodhisattvas. So with the bodhisattvas, when you become, don't think the bodhisattva outside. When you become a bodhisattva, male bodhisattva, female bodhisattva, when you become a bodhisattva, your mind expands. Not like, suddenly your mind expands. No. Because you think about all the beings constantly. You think about all the beings constantly. For example, do you know that some young mothers, they were doing so bad when they were in school. They were doing so bad in science when they were in school. When they become mothers, they become so good in science. You know how? To teach a little boy, little girl, you have to learn science. So they learn science in school out of desperation. Somebody's forcing you. So here you're doing on your own. You're learning science. You become so good at it. You're getting it? Because of love for your child. So with love for your child, you learn all these things which you otherwise you will never learn. So bodhisattvas, they love not only your child, but all the beings. Because of which you learn so many things. Your mind expands in your knowledge, your mind expands in your compassion, and the gravity will be built up in your mind to feel the weight. So where the small incidents happen here and there, your mind will not be disturbed. Your mind will be extremely grounded, stable, and then you can be the pillar for so many people. So this is so precious. Okay, so it says that all phenomena are subsumed within the mind of enlightenment. So with the mind of enlightenment, everything comes under your control. So once you cultivate the clear understanding with great compassion, how does this mind of the bodhisattvas, the mind of enlightenment, or bodhicitta, how does that rise? It arose from the main seat of the compassion, great compassion. Where you feel the compassion towards the beings, then the desire to solve these problems come to you. How to solve these problems? By making them wake up from the sleep of ignorance. For that you should be woken up. You should be woken up. This is known as awakened mind. So, that the great compassion, we have to cultivate the great compassion. So this great compassion is so beautiful. And what I would say is that if you really want to say for example, at home there's a tension with your husband, with your wife, with your children, with your parents, with your in-laws, all these problems are there, right? And then with that person, this person, that person, complications are there. And the mental stress is enormous. If you want to get away from this mental stress, the best thing is practice the universal compassion, the bodhicitta. And bodhicitta, there are two methods to generate. It's not like, I practice compassion, may my compassion increase. No, it will never increase. You have to do something. So recite, right? You recite this mantra, your compassion will increase. No, don't expect that. Right? Don't think of reciting mantras so that your compassion increases, like Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara's compassion. Don't expect that. Why I'm saying this is that, believe it or not, even if you recite Om Albert Einstein Hung, right? You recite this mantra 100,000 times for 10 years, you will not become a Nobel laureate in physics, 100%. You will not become a Nobel laureate in physics. Om Albert Einstein, Om Albert Einstein, Om Albert Einstein. May I become a Nobel laureate in physics? Om Albert Einstein, Om Albert Einstein. You recite 100,000 times, you will not become a Nobel laureate in physics, 100%. If you really want to become a Nobel laureate in physics, study physics. Likewise, if you really want to increase your compassion, yes, Avalokiteshvara's mantras there, Om Mani Padme, these mantras are there. But these mantras will have the effect only when provided other conditions are intact. What conditions? You subdue your anger, subdue your ego. You getting it? Ego. And then in action, try your best to help others. Meanwhile, invoke the blessings of Aravalokiteshvara, Om Mani Padme, Om Mani Padme. All these factors intact, then these recitation mantras will have an effect in your mind to increase your compassion. So alongside, there are two methods which will actually make you grow in your compassion. Two methods. Sevenfold cause effect method to generate bodhicitta, and the method of equalizing exchange of self for others. The two methods. You have to study them separately and practice them. Practice them, you see that gradually the ease of your mind expands. The small things which will otherwise easily trigger agitation within you cannot trigger agitation within you anymore. And small things which will trigger attachment within you will not do that. Small things which will trigger anger within you, it will not happen. So your mind will be under control. This is a beautiful practice. It's amazing. Amazing. Okay. Next, all phenomena are naturally luminous. So one should cultivate the clear understanding of non-apprehension. This very profound teaching. So now we see that let's say that the things operate on two levels. One is on while you're in the dream. In the domain of dream, this is known as a conventional truth. And then you wake up from the dream, you wake up, and then all the functionalities of the dream stops. Pramalaji, how are you? Okay, good. Okay, so what happens is that, say, two things happening. One is within the dream, one is outside the dream. You're getting it? So it is like, let's say that let's say Mount Kailash. Mount Kailash is so beautiful, spick and span clean, so tidy, so clean, so beautiful. And there are two groups. One group, they say to stop the glare, snow glare, both of you put on the goggles. One, the goggles are extremely clean, and the other one, the goggle itself is very, what is that? Not really dirty, but little murky goggle itself. The material is low quality, murky, and you are seeing snow for the first time and Mount Kailash for the first time, and you say those group A looks at with the goggles on, clean, clear, crystal clear goggles on, is beautiful, and group B looks at this is very murky, very dirty Mount Kailash. You agree? Okay, so then group B, if you are somebody who sees dirty things, then you become sick, and you literally become sick because you see Mount Kailash so dirty, right? And then you become sick. Why become sick? Oh, because I have an allergy to seeing dirty things, right? So I saw the Mount Kailash very dirty and I become sick. Whereas group A, everybody is so happy. Same. What makes group A happy is Mount Kailash, yes? What makes group B unhappy is Mount Kailash, yes? So the same object makes some people very happy, some people very unhappy. So those people who see Mount Kailash, it makes them become unhappy. So these are known as the samsaric beings. It's not the Mount Kailash, it's your perception which makes you samsaric beings. Those people who look at Mount Kailash and it makes them so happy, this is the nirvana. Freedom from the unease, freedom from the murkiness, the unease created by the murkiness. So this is the nirvana. So nirvana and samsara, the same Mount Kailash or different Mount Kailash? Same Mount Kailash, but seen in two different ways. You getting it? Likewise, the same reality with our dirty lens of mind. With the sleeping mind, with the dreaming mind, you create one dream, one reality. That is known as conventional truth. Then you wake up, you see the same reality very differently. That is known as ultimate truth. You're getting it? So within the conventional dream, within conventional reality, again there are many layers. For example, like say that if I tell somebody that I need a mobile, right? You can give me a mobile which is like 20 years old mobile, right? The younger ones will not be happy if somebody gives you 20 years old mobile. What do you want? You want brand new the brand new iPhone 15 Pro Max, right? You're getting it? You need that. So somebody gives you a mobile which is like 20 years old, you'll be very unhappy. You're getting it? So whereas for some people, what's a mobile? Mobile is just to communicate. And it works. But within communication, there are different levels. Some are very simple to some very sophisticated things. You're getting it? Likewise, conventional reality, while both are happening on the conventional reality happening on the dream level. Your mind is created. Within that, there are some are very gross dreams, some are very subtle dreams. So now we see that, for example, let's say that how many you've seen that sometimes conferences, the backdrop nowadays, they're all digitized, digitally being created. How many know that? Raise hands. Maybe Isar, you make that yourself? Huh? No? Okay, Situndullah, you make it? Tibet House? No, he said yes, just to give a good impression to the people that Tibet House is very sophisticated, very advanced. No, Tibet House still use the flex, right? Or soon? Okay, so that's amazing. Digital backdrop, huge backdrop, but digitally happening where you don't have. This is what is that? Environmentally clean. It's so good. Okay, so there you see all these designs, 3D designs, movements happening. These are all the light effects. Yes, these are light effects. There's nothing really there as a box, letters, people, nothing there. But it's all the light effects. So likewise, all what is happening around, these are the light effects of our own mind. It's amazing. For example, say what's the color of this robe? You will say maroon. But under different lighting system, you may see this as purple. You agree? How many of you profoundly agree with me? 100% what I'm seeing is just the light effect. Raise hands. In fact, I must be aged like 9 or 10. I was shocked, literally shocked. When I was in school, in the winter holiday, where most of the children, they left for winter holidays, and some of the students are left behind, whether they don't have any place to go. I was one of them. Then I had a jacket. The color of the jacket, I think it was like what? Blue. The blue, and I saw that as objectively blue. It appeared as objectively real, and I believe it is objectively blue. My jacket color is blue. Then evening, we went for the prayer, group prayer in the hall. Meanwhile, there was the one electric pole erected with the light like this, fluorescent light. It was something installed newly. And the light was on. It was already. And then I went out and my jacket turned purple. What happened? There's no change. But then I could see that objectively it's purple now. Right? And then I was just so confused. At the same time, in my mind, as a little boy, maybe age 9 or 10, okay, it could be the fluorescent light. So it gives us a very different impression of the object. So objectively, there's nothing really there. As what I earlier thought as blue, there's also illusion. What I'm seeing now as purple, this is also illusion. You're getting it? This feeling started to come at that point. And so later on, this is amazing. These are all light effects. What we see as, this person, that person, so forth, these are all light effects. Light effects plus your mental projection. Two things are happening together. For example, say, if you want to look young, don't stay with the younger ones. Don't stay with the younger ones. Literally, I'm saying this. Literally, right? If you, say, tell me somebody who is in 20s, they're young or they're old.
Neither young nor old. Relative.
Okay, so tell me in 20, somebody who's 20s, young or old? Very young, very young. But even the 20 people raise hands, in 20s raise hands. Okay, you are very happy, I know, right? So you are very happy, but don't stay with the teenagers. Don't stay with teenagers. If you stay too long with the teenagers, anybody, they will see the crease on your face. Whereas when you stay with somebody like my age, your crease will all disappear. It doesn't disappear, but people's perception changes. Because being with me for a long time, even your crease will become invisible. But they will become visible when you stay when you sit with the teenagers for some time. You getting it? So these are all, there's no change within you. It's just a perception which changes. Light effect and the perception, relativity is operating to make us see things as so absolutely real. So in short, what we are saying is that these are all the lighting effects. What light? Not the external light, internal light. Lighting effect of your mind. This is known as the radiance of one's own mind. Radiance of one's own mind. So the text reads, all phenomena are naturally luminous. All phenomena are naturally luminous. Luminous meaning they are nothing but the radiance of one's own mind. And this is not just the what is that, metaphorical. This is a reality. And to come to that conclusion will take a little time. We have to be contemplative. We have to go nuanced analysis, reflection, contemplation. Then gradually you will get to come to this understanding that what I'm seeing, this is like the lighting effects of my own luminous mind. All phenomena are naturally luminous, so one should cultivate the clear understanding of non-apprehension. If you look at the prayer composed by His Holiness the Dalai Lama, His Holiness expressed when talking about the Mahamudra teachings. His Holiness the Dalai Lama taught that all what we as the interacting with, nirvana and samsara, so these are nothing but the radiance of one's own mind. One's mind radiated in the form of samsara and nirvana. Even this mind is of the nature of the mind which manifested, whose radiance manifested in the form of samsara and nirvana. Even the source, the mind, that is also empty of objective reality. That is the Mahamudra, great Mahamudra. Okay. All phenomena are naturally luminous, so one should cultivate the clear understanding of non-apprehension. All entities. So meanwhile, we see that things are luminous nature, things are empty of objective reality, and my mind, out of bodhicitta, expands to all phenomena. So there's a tendency for the ordinary people like us to solidify things as permanent. So it says, but keep in mind, all entities are impermanent in nature. Be the radiant phenomena or the radiating mind, all are impermanent in nature. So what we feel so attached to, this is also impermanent. For example, like say somebody who is like a very young boy or a young girl, and they feel so attached to that, and suddenly within the span of like the few minutes, the person becomes extremely gray. All your attachment instantly drops. So wise people can see things like this. Say somebody who's so young to somebody who's the same person becoming so old after 30, 40, 50 years. They can see this within a very short span of time. These are the wise people. Unwise people cannot see that, because their mind has to move from somebody who's so young to the old many years, and their mind cannot connect the two. Because of this, they see as young, old as old, and young as young, so therefore don't see the old age. So therefore attachment builds up. Whereas if you can see the same thing as within what you see otherwise to be seen within a span of 30, 40 years, if you can see that within a span of like few seconds, like this, then attachment will drop. Aversion will drop. So nowadays it's very easy. Look at, even the Google search, right? Google search. Yes, do you know how to do that? Right? Say Google search it. Very easy. Particularly what we call it celebrities, right? Movie stars. So some of them who were very young when were in their 20s, and from now in 70s. So the whole life is shown within a span of few seconds. Then you see that somebody who's so extremely attractive, young, within a split of a seconds, a few seconds, move to somebody who's so old. And reality is not just the digitally created, it's a reality. How that is, what has otherwise happened with the span of 40, 50 years time, shown to you within a few seconds. But some people, wise people, they don't need that. They can mentally do that very fast. And because of this, they can manage the emotions. This is so important. So, all entities are impermanent. So one should cultivate a clear understanding of non-attachment to anything whatsoever. Okay, with this, so all these things, realizations happen where? For example, say, okay, I have to see that everything's empty, everything's like a dream. So my emotions are under control, like a prank. My realizing the prank is prank, my emotions are under control. Then your mind, to feel the bodhicitta, universal compassion towards all the beings. Then you become like a mother of all the sentient beings. Then you see that all what is happening around, they are nothing but the radiance, the light effect of one's own clear light mind. And then meanwhile, see that all what is happening, operating, they are of impermanent nature. I should not be attached to these things. Sometimes even the spiritual realizations, when you get some degree of understanding of the emptiness, then you feel so attached to this feeling that, it's a very profound experience, that everything is empty of true existence. Even the compassion grows, wow, so profound experience. Again, you tend to feel attached to this. So even the good things, don't feel attached to. Value this, don't feel attached to. Attached to means involuntary pull. Involuntary pull, simply by the label involuntary pull, means is your weakness. There should be no involuntary pull, but your appreciation should happen. Appreciation, and then you engage in this to help the beings, but yet you are not sucked up in it like a lotus born in the mud. Lotus born in the mud, although mud is very muddy, born in the mud, but not tainted by the mud. The lotus born in the mud, but not tainted by the mud. Likewise, that we are not. We appreciate all these things, good things, bad things, they are the radiance of one's own mind, and the things are all like dream, empty experience, a very profound experience, but we should not feel attached to these experiences. So it says that all entities are impermanent, so one should cultivate the clear understanding of non-attachment to anything whatsoever. When one realizes mind, there's wisdom. So whatever all these realizations are happening within your mind, your mind sees that nothing really objectively exists. Your mind sees that your mind can expand to the infinite of compassion. Your mind sees that your mind is the source of the radiance of all the phenomena, and your mind is one which sees the impermanence. When you see that, when all these realizations happen within your own mind, that is the wisdom. When one realizes the mind in these four levels of the understanding, then your wisdom is dawned within you. So one should cultivate the clear understanding of not seeking the Buddhahood elsewhere. Why? Say the gold mixed with the mud within you, and I want gold, right? You go to seek for gold outside. No, gold is within you. Just remove the mud, and the gold is within you. So remove the mud through understanding these four things. The four things, like things that to be empty of objective reality, things of the nature of the bodhicitta, things of the nature of luminosity, impermanence, then you see that your mind actually, turbulence subsides. When turbulence subsides, the clarity manifests. That is the Buddhahood. So the Buddhahood, you don't have to look for Buddhas outside. You will never find the Buddhahood outside. It should be sought only from within. When one realizes mind is wisdom, so one should cultivate the clear understanding of not seeking Buddhahood elsewhere. The Buddha then spoke the following verses. Since all phenomena are naturally pure, one should cultivate the clear understanding that there are no entities, no objective entities. Since all phenomena are connected with enlightened mind, or the Bodhi mind, or Bodhicitta, one should cultivate the clear understanding of great compassion. Since all phenomena are naturally luminous, one should cultivate the clear understanding of non-apprehension. There's nothing to apprehend there as solid tangible objects. These are nothing but the radiance of one's own mind. Since all entities are impermanent, one should cultivate the clear understanding of non-attachment. Since the mind is the cause for the arising of the wisdom, your own mind, remove the mental dirt. Remove the mental dirt by seeing the emptiness nature, seeing the bodhicitta nature, seeing the luminous nature, impermanent nature. All the mental defilements will be gone. When that is gone, since the mind is the cause for arising of this wisdom, do not look for the Buddhahood elsewhere. It is right within you. After the Blessed One, the Buddha had spoken, the whole assembly, including the Bodhisattva Akashagarbha and others, were overjoyed and full of praise for the Buddha's words. Okay. So with this we end the teaching, and any questions before we stop here? Questions? Raise hands. Offline, online questions? Okay, I know that this is, many of you may describe this as something which went above your head. Okay, over there. Yes. Okay. So basically the idea is that, say, one, in the first place, what I would suggest is that if you're very serious with this, this is extremely meaningful. And even for you, somebody, to feel that, oh, I could not understand this, which means that this actually caught your attention. This is so precious. Okay. So first, what I was saying is that begin with who we are. Don't begin by saying that, oh, I want the world to be happy, I want the world to have peace. Begin from your true nature. True nature meaning that who you are. I want happiness. And happiness, what degree of happiness do you want? 10%, 40%, 100%? Was answer? Your name? Vidyansh. Divyansh. Divyansh, tell me happiness. What degree of happiness do you want? 10%, 20%? Absolute. If you want absolute happiness, answer is absolute compassion. Because the real happiness is when your mind expands. It is like, say, mind expands. It is not just, again, it's not a metaphorical thing. It is literally, for example, when somebody binds you. When somebody binds you with the rope, you feel so suffocated, congested. Why? This congestion is actually not physical. It's your mind is feeling that. Your mind feels the congestion. So moment you're free from the ropes, then you feel that your mind feels a freedom. In other words, you are in a small cage, prison, and then you cannot go here around. And finally, after so many months of suffocation in this small prison, you are freed from the prison. You can roam around freely. You can feel the ease. You're getting it? So this, in fact, most of us, we don't really have the experience. Only when you feel it, you have to sometimes experience this. Then you will understand what does it mean by freedom. So with this freedom is actually the mind feels the relaxation, expands. So selfishness binds a mind. So with the selfishness, the tendency for you to fight with people happens. With your mom, with your boy, with your son, with your father, husband, wife. You tend to fight with everybody. And then you feel so suffocated. Now I cannot go to this person, that person, everybody. Sometimes you feel so suffocated. How many of you had that experience once in a while? Listen, be very honest. Right? You have nobody to talk to, right? And somebody comes, what are you saying? Right? And then again you made the other person unhappy with you. So now you have nobody to go to. So there you feel so suffocated. So this is the selfishness. restricts the mind, it constricts the mind, like imprisoning us. Compassion is the one reaches out to others. It expands your mind. Ease is felt. So if you want 100% absolute ease, absolute peace, then you have to expand your mind absolutely, which is known as this is known as universal compassion. But universal compassion is defined as the feeling of love and affection towards all the beings, wishing that they be freed from suffering. So the question is, how to let them be freed from suffering? So who is going to do that? I will do it. How are you going to do it? By awakening my mind first. Then I can teach how to awaken the other beings. So this compassion is the mind which wishes all the beings free from suffering and cause of suffering. And how to do that? I will do it by becoming awakened. Become awakened is the desire for Buddhahood, or the bodhicitta. So this bodhicitta is grounded on compassion, and compassion should be driven by the desire for your infinite happiness. Good. Any more questions? Yes, over there. Okay. Okay, this is a good question. Say what I would say is that what's your name? Atiti. Okay. Okay. Atitya. Okay, the Atitya, according to Buddhism, say what? When you're hungry, what should you do according to Buddhism? When you're hungry, according to Buddhism, what should you do? You have to eat food. It's not about according to Buddhism. You're getting it? It's a reality. You're getting it? Okay. So the point is, if somebody ever tells you, so if I'm hungry, right? So what should I do according to Buddhism, right? According to Hinduism, according to Islam. If somebody tells like this, say that this is too narrow-minded. You're getting it? You told about ism. It's a reality. So the reality is that the root of our problem is attachment. This is a reality. For example, in the family, say, self-centered attitude, selfishness. This is so attached to the self, attachment. With the attachment to the self, then even the family members are a problem for you. Right? Even the family members are a problem for you. For example, say your mom gives you and your sister equally and something very equal, and you expect that I'm the son of the family. Why I'm not given a special treatment? You're getting it? Okay, so because of attachment. Whereas as a brother, I'm so glad, Mom, that you are doing, you are not partial to me. My sister, I love my sister so much. So we are same. Don't treat me as special. We are same. Treat my mom, sister, and myself as same. This should be attitude. On the contrary, many boys, they expect their parents to treat them special as a special in the family. Something more equal than the equals. This is totally, what do you call it? Backward thinking. If the parents backward thinking. If the child's backward thinking. We are all equal. Don't forget it. So the thing is, the attachment is the problem. Why this problem is happening? Because of the attachment to self. Then on the global level, wars are happening. Why? Attachment to the territories. Attachment to the terrorists. Excessive greed. Wanting to expand. Right? In the past, what are all these wars? All these wars among the kingdoms. In the past, today among the nations, all these wars, border tensions, because of the territorial greed. Attachment is a problem. It's not about Buddhism. It's about the reality. So, how to detach? This is a question. So, for this, say for example, where do you find the bigger problem? The problem between 2 or 3 people inside the family or outside the family? Inside the family, it is better because it is governed by love and affection. Outside, it's not governed by love and affection. Because of this, then the court cases happen. Inside, the court case is much less. in the family. This is governed by the love and affection. Where it is governed by love and affection, then the feeling of compromise easily happens. Right? Okay, you like this? Oh, take it, take it. Whereas if you don't like the other person much, then some person says, I love, you like this? I'm sorry, this is mine. But in the family, you will not say this. Most likely you will say, okay, you take it. Right? And in fact, you may feel even more happy that my sister uses it. So this is where, with the love and affection, then the detachment towards things happen more easily. The next one is that how come to build this love and how come that you have this love and affection towards your family members? Because you see the immediate dependency. By dependence on my family members, I feel happy. But when their family members are unhappy, I become unhappy. So immediate dependency is experienced. Whereas with outside, immediate dependence is not seen. So I is I, you are you. So dependence is not seen. Because of this, love and affection is not coming. Because of this, then the attachment to oneself, selfishness comes in. So the point is that we have to build up to say we require the compassion and the wisdom. What wisdom? Wisdom to see that we are all dependent on each other. So that wisdom will help us to detach yourself from the self-centered attitude. Self-centered attitude undermined, less self-centered attitude, attachment is gone. Very good question. Thank you. Yes. Uh, Experientially, they are same. Okay, what Nivita is saying is that the wisdom and compassion, the two wings of the bodhisattvas to fly across the ocean of samsara to get to Buddhahood. So these two wings, the wisdom and the compassion, although intellectually we talk of these two things as different things, experientially, when you go deeper, you see that these two are one and the same thing. Feels that way, as well, like these two are like same. So would you mind sharing with us what do you mean by when you go deeper? How do you go deeper? Okay, let's say that my question to Nivita is, what do you mean by going deeper into the on the experience level, into the compassion and the wisdom? By switching from I should not be self-cherishing, I should cherish others. Is this how you do? I should not cherish myself, I should cherish others. I should be more compassionate towards others. Actually trying to do, physically trying to help others and so forth. No, what I'm saying is, how do you go deeper into the wisdom? Is there anybody, how does one go deeper into the wisdom? Anyone? Raise hands. The girl over there. By meditation. Right? By meditation, like the how? Meditation, breathing, count the breath, and then the equals MC square increases. Quantum physics. Right? Meditation. I agree with the girl there. What's your name? But Vasudha said, I agree with her, but I partly agree with her, partly. Because meditation, there are so many kinds. Here, so what is that logic? What is that logic? How do we get this logic? How to generate wisdom? Oh, on his own. Okay, quantum physics on his own. Relativity theory is on his own. Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, Chavi. By studying, reflecting, and meditating, you're getting it? By studying, let's not forget it. What Chavi said, let's make it like a preamble. Right? By studying, reflecting, meditating. To meditate, we require confidence in what you're meditating. Vasudha? What Vasudha said? To meditate, we have to have the material to meditate on. You should have the confidence. How do we get confidence? Is through reflection. And how to reflect on? Intuitively? No. We have been intuitively working since time immemorial, and this is what we are today. Right? Sickness, aging, what's the problem? Your mother says, you'll have a cup of tea, you must be tired after Tushita teaching. What cup of tea? No cold coffee. Right? This is how we have been living. Intuitive, It never worked effectively. So now we have to revolutionize our intuition. Who are the people who actually succeeded in this? Arya Nagarjuna, what? How did he succeed? Right? Oh, how did he succeed? Is there any wisdom that he left for us? Yes, of course. There are 5 big treatises there. Mula Madhyamika Karika, right? So our treatises, they are useless. The text which we wrote in the mind, all these time immemorial, what we thought, intuition, they're all wrong intuitions. Now we have to rely on the reliable intuition like these beings who actually become enlightened, right? So we have to study them. Study, reflect. Don't just say intuitive. Our intuition has only brought us the miseries, right? Oh, I'm tired of my intuition. You're getting it? So now we have to rely on more reliable intuition, like the intuition of the Arya Nagarjuna, the Buddha, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and so forth. So these legacies must be utilized through study, reflect, and meditation. This is so important. You're getting it? Okay. So only when you do that, then you can see that these two are two distinct things. Wisdom is very wisdom, and compassion is compassion. Somebody can go deep into compassion in the absence of wisdom. They will be somewhere, but not rich. Somebody can be too much in wisdom without compassion. Again, there will be some level will not reach to the ultimate. So one with the two combined together will reach the ultimate. Okay, say let me show you that this is actually said by. So your question is responded by. I think. Oops. Niveda, your question is already responded by, I think, by the Arya, the great master, Saraha. So let me see if I can track it. Okay, I can find it now. Okay, so it reads. Okay, it says by Saraha, the great saint Saraha. It is on page. Okay, by the way, all of you, the book that I'm using now, this is known as the Blaze of Non-Dual Bodhisattvas. Most of you must have got it today. So that book is extremely precious, and it is on page 216 in my copy. 216. It says, okay, for Nivita. So we talked about the wisdom and the compassion. By entering into emptiness, which is the wisdom, but devoid of compassion. If the compassion element is missing, you only have the emptiness. One will not find the supreme path. Supreme path means path will take you to supreme enlightenment, full awakening, infinite happiness. You will not attain supreme path. By meditating upon compassion without the wisdom, one will not attain liberation. Forget about Buddhahood, you will not even attain liberation from samsara, but remain in samsara. You getting it? Now, what happens if you succeed in bringing the two together? Two together. Wisdom very clear, compassion very clear, and bring the two together. The one capable of grasping the unity of the two will not remain in samsara. Samsara is suffering. Because of wisdom, you will not fall into samsara or suffering. You will be freed from the fears of samsara. Because of the compassion, you will not abide in personal nirvana. You will work for the benefit of all the sentient beings. So that is the state of Buddhahood, full awakening. So for that, you have to study these two very separately. Don't rely on your intuition. You're getting it? It's very important to make sure that we study these steps separately. That, in other words, let us not waste our time. You're getting it? Let us not waste our time. Make sure that we look for the great legacies of these masters. This is so important, particularly being attached to like Tushita Center or Tibet Hauz and so forth. I would say that if you still miss being connected with these great masters' teachings, we are not being kind to ourselves. We should be kind to ourselves, and we should be wisely kind to ourselves. Good. More questions over there? Okay. What's your name? Okay, what Naman, the intuition which he mentioned just now, that's a good intuition. Don't trust your intuitions, but this intuition is very good. We just said that by meditating on wisdom of emptiness, then the compassion automatically arises. So this is what Nagarjuna taught. Compassion, there are various levels. For ordinary people, where you have compassion towards your family members, near and dear ones, not really compassion towards the other beings. But if you meditate on emptiness, your compassion to all the beings increase automatically. But that will take us to a certain level of compassion. Ordinary people who say that, oh, this person, what is your name again? Naman is extremely compassionate. But if you don't practice compassion separately, with the two methods, your compassion will get stuck to a level whereby ordinary people appreciate, but this compassion does not have the energy to take you towards the ultimate happiness. For to reach that level, that is known as a great compassion. Not just compassion, but a great compassion. To reach that level, we have to have these two methods. The sevenfold cause-effect method to generate bodhicitta, and a method of equalizing exchange of self for others to generate bodhicitta, required to take us to the great compassion. Then it will take you to bodhicitta. Very good. Any more questions? Yes, here.
So the first half you kind of ended with talking about, external triggers, open up the happiness, and there is an infinite happiness that you can go into with internal triggers. So I wanted to understand if you can expand a bit on what that internal trigger would be, with which you could achieve, long-lasting happiness.
Amazing question. Thank you. Amazing. Are you part of NMC? You don't know. Okay, so these people who have the capacity to ask these questions, you must be a part of NMC, NDC, and CC. And if you don't know what these are, you look around, you're surrounded by people. Chavi is next to there, Yash there, Isar here, the Venerable here, Yangila. And here, Venerable, your name? Yeah, not yet. Yes, Segila. Okay. So these, where you have these questions must be resolved. Don't just, say, for example, say these questions. You come up with these questions are so precious. His Holiness the Dalai Lama always encourages people, come up with your questions. With questions, first, with skepticism, will give rise to questions. Questions will make you to search for the answers. Searching for the answers, you get answers. Once you get answers, your unease because of this confusion will be resolved and you feel the ease. Okay, so for this, the point is that the tremendous, the real potential, the treasure of happiness is within us. So this has to be uncovered or unraveled. Unravel is where they say usually there are two triggers, external triggers and internal triggers. So we, ordinary beings, how do we demarcate between who's ordinary and who is evolved beings? One way of defining that is by seeing where's the focus. All of us, we are looking for, say, the maximum happiness and getting away from miseries to the best you can. So the pursuit of this is done by turning outside. Outside, money, power, corruption, these things. If your mind is fully directed outside, these are the unwise people, unevolved people. Why? Because this pursuit will never give rise to genuine happiness. Whereas those people who turn inside to look for this, they are the wise people. And while I would say that and some people, they would say, no, your problem is purely mental, This is also one extreme. Because that the thing is that, say, we are very ordinary. Let's say from 0, we have to go to 10. So for this, there is no shortcut. You have to go from 0 to 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5, no 0 to 10. So mantra we recited, what's the mantra which we recited? Gade para sam gade borsa. There is no mantra known as Gade Bodhi Swaha. So it's the gade, right? So likewise, this is how we have to proceed, which means that we are trying to go up. Somebody who is heavily directed outside, from there we are moving towards inside. So because it will take time, so external factors, internal factors, both are to be taken seriously. And gradually, as you become stronger, when you turn towards inside more and more, then you become stronger and stronger and stronger. As you become stronger, then your dependence on external factors become less. Then external factors will not affect you at all. For example, when you reach the Bodhisattva path, gate, para gate, third level, when you reach that level, external factors will not affect you anyways. Even if somebody cuts your body, if somebody comes to cut your body, are you happy? Not happy. Why not? Because there's going to be so much pain. But for them, there's no pain. Somebody cuts, there's a bliss coming in you instead of pain. And not only bliss, the body will recover on its own. You don't require treatment. So all these wonders happen when you move towards internal the factors fully, when you succeed in this, not just mentally. So who say mentally, they have no idea as to how to move from from miseries to the happiness. They don't know the mechanism. So the point is that how to turn there is again study, reflection and meditation. How? First, to see that what we are seeing is not to be trusted. This is deception. We are living in the world of illusion. And how? Don't just believe in somebody. Again, that must be cognitively transformed through a logical studies, reflection, meditation. If you're not happy, you have to continue to ask questions. If I don't have the answer, don't worry. You have to go to the next teacher. And eventually, finally, are in Nagarjuna's words and the Buddha's words. So there, and even you don't have to believe in them. Study what they say, subject them to analysis, see if it makes sense to you. Only when it makes sense to you, then you see that what I'm seeing is deceptive. This is all I dream. Then your mind, instead of looking for outside, you will fix your mind inside. From the deceptive mind, you fix it and make it a valid mind. Then from the very selfish attitude, so this is a problem, there's a problem, right? What kind of problem? What's your name? Dhruvesh. Say, we'll all go for Dharamsala for audience with His Holiness. And then they, okay, now, the Dora Renugaji, what room, what kind of room I'll get? Oh, you have to stay in a dormitory. I have no privacy, right? And then I want a little bit of privacy. Oh, then you will stay in your single room. I'm lonely. You're getting it? So this is where we are looking for the outside happiness outside. Again, this is not realistic. You see, the outside is all relative. Relative is how you say it. You say, so single, right? Thank you. There's so much privacy. Oh, no, I'm very sorry. You're not in a single room. You're in a dormitory. Oh, thank you. I have so much of, not lonely. You're getting it? So external factors should not affect you. When your change in the mind inside happens, then your mind is turned inside, then the external is transformed. That is a wise people. Good. Okay, one question there, Vasudha. Very good. Okay, are you having the text? Read it for us. Luminosity. Or shall I read for you? You got it? Okay, read it. Okay, very good. Say that the do you see the light? I'm not saying the light, the bulbs. Say within the space between you and me, is it pervaded by light? Can you apprehend? Can you grasp at it? Why not? It's light. You're getting it? Say that even the what we talk about, light effects. Light effects, say some trees are created and the tigers are created, tigers jumping, so this all light effects. You go there, you cannot apprehend. You apprehend here meaning that you can grasp. There's nothing to grasp at. Right? These are all the light effects. But for that you have to know that these are light effects. So you have to know that they are the radiance of one's own mind. Only then, non-apprehension meaning the non-grasping. For example, let's say that they say, okay, let's say that how fond are you with cheesecake? Very fond of. Okay, let's say that I tell you that, Vasudha, I'll give you cheesecake. You're so happy. And today corresponds to your birthday. I'm going to give you a cheesecake on a birthday, right? So you're so excited. So the moment you get the cheesecake, you want to apprehend it. You want to grab at it. Then I come up with a picture of a cheesecake. Picture of cheesecake, what happens? Instantly your interest drops. You're getting it? So grasping stops. Grasping it stops when you come to know that this is just a picture, it's not real cheesecake. So likewise, when you see that this is all the radiance of one's own mind, that's not really concretely there as something there. So the example that I gave you, my shirt, the blue jacket, the jacket, I thought it was blue, so I grabbed at that as a blue jacket. So the moment I came to see that it is just completely purple, then I got a sense that it's not really from the jacket, it's that the light effect. Then my apprehending or my grabbing at that as blue stops. Because to know that what is happening is just purely light effect. It's not intrinsically from the jacket. You getting it? Okay, so if you still want to feel, wow, that's amazing, right? It'll not happen now. If you really want to feel the awe, you have to study, reflect, and meditate on this. You have to get the authentic information on this, more authentic information. Okay, the gentleman over there, you have a question? No?
Actually, just related to this.
Yes.
At what stage will you be able to recognize the luminosity of war?
Okay. I would say that so basically, let me say that the war, right? Let's say that how many of you in your life, because you have to relate this with the real life. If you relate this with the real life, all these teachings will make total sense. Otherwise, they will not make sense. How many of you were involved in role play in your life? Any sense? Role play. Okay, Rebecca, tell me, what does it mean by role play?
Being somebody else which you are not, acting out.
Yes, we all are small children, age 4, 5, 6, 7, small children. And then they say, okay, you are the king, and you are the what? You are the tax minister, right? And you are this, you are that, and the rest of us are the common subject, right? And then let's say that while Professor Renugaji was out, right? Then we said, okay, the director of Tushita Center is still not here, so let's have a role play, right? And then who's going to be king? And then Rebecca owns up, I'm going to be the king, right? And then everybody agrees, okay. And who's going to be the tax minister? Raise hands. Quick. Tax minister. Okay, yes. Okay, that's it. Yes. No. You're Sikila. So Venerable Sikila says, I'm going to be the tax minister. And yes, no, I'm also going to be tax minister. So yes, Sikila said, never mind, you are going to be my junior tax minister. Right? The deputy tax minister. And then with the role play, then okay, you're all happy, right? Your name? Gagan. So Gagan is not too happy, but he has to say yes, okay. And if you are happy, you say okay, right? So now there is a king, minister, deputy minister, right? And the king said, hey, minister, now to make an empire strong, you have to depend on the tax, collect the tax. So we are all, how old are we? Age 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. You have your tiffin from your parents, from your home, tiffin with the chocolate, right? And the tax minister said, hey, deputy tax minister, right? Collect the tax. All the chocolates will come to us. And the deputy minister, tax minister said, okay, all the chocolates surrender, right? Surrender. And then all chocolates they came, and 2 chocolates not coming. Gagans and the chocolate they are not coming. Why not you? No, this chocolate is my parents sent it for me, right? Then everybody will say, you have to pay the tax, right? Everybody, you like it or not, they will snatch it from 2 of you, given there. And then our deputy tax minister, what he did is that 10 chocolates go into his pocket. And the remaining goes to Sikila, the tax minister, right? And 10 chocolates disappeared. You're getting it? 10 chocolates disappeared. Okay. Then the Professor Renugaji comes. Hey, what is all these little boys and girls, what are you doing? Hey, Rebecca, what are you doing? Right? Then everybody was, how dare you call the highness king as Rebecca without respect, right? So if Professor Renuga wants to come into the play, she has to follow the rules. Follows, hey, Highness King Rebecca, right? Or Queen Rebecca. And if she doesn't, this is a small children's game, get out of the game. Don't come into the game. If you want to come in the game, follow the rules. Respect the rules, regulations. So these, and yet, somebody says, oh, Rebecca's really enjoying. She's getting so much chocolates, right? And then somebody secretly saw that our deputy tax minister also gets some chocolates outside, right? I also like to be I'm also the tax minister. Everybody says, you are not. The yes said that I'm the tax minister. Everybody said, yes, you are. So there, people, all the small children, they go into emotional, they are moved by emotions when something goes wrong in the community. Saying that, Professor Renu said, hey Rebecca, right? Everybody becomes emotionally unhappy. That why you are disrespectful to a king. And somebody said, I'm also the tax minister. No, you are not. Become very angry, right? So we are stirred in emotions with this game. And within this game, there's a proper rules and regulations. That Gagan cannot say that I'm also the king. He cannot say that. Because there's already created rule, and the rule says that you are not. You are a common subject. You're getting it? So that way, we see that and yet we are being, this is just a game, small children's game. Yes, this small children's game have a tremendous psychological and emotional effect in your mind. Yes, emotion. If somebody disrespects your king, you are very unhappy. After 1 hour, game is over. Somebody said Rebecca is fine because now the convention is gone. As long as convention holds true, we are being bound by the convention. And we see the convention as real. Whereas Professor Renugaji, this is just your convention. And she knows that this convention, as conventions, she is not affected. We see the convention as real, we are being affected. You're getting it? So, convention as real is being in the dream, seeing the dream as real. So Professor Renugaji is like coming out of the dream. This is just a dream. This is just a convention. You're getting it? So, in the convention, for those people who are trapped in the convention, conventional war is a very dangerous thing. Whereas for someone who's outside the game, war is just a dream, is convention. You're getting it? Now, when you ask this question, are you asking this question with respect to, are you in the dream and asking this question, or are you out of the convention and you are asking me? If you're in the convention, it is like you are part of small children and you are saying that, can we disrespect Rebecca, our king? Then I say, yes, I'm in problem. Because that I'm in the convention. Because you are in the convention, you ask me this question, and you will tell anybody else, all others, that he is being disrespectful to our king. Whereas, Professor Renugaji, you out of the dream, out of this convention, and you told somebody else, this is just small children's game, there's no really king, queen. So for there's no war there, you talk to somebody else who's of your level. So for them, you're not disturbed. But inside the convention, you are disturbing the convention. So the dream nature of the war, in the convention, you have to follow the convention. You follow the convention, and the convention, there's cause and effect where, say, the unruly leaders are there, they can create wars. We have to oppose these wars skillfully. You have to oppose. Don't say this is just convention. Because in the convention, you are bound by the convention. So we have to put effort to make sure that war subsides. These bad leaders go away. We have to look for ways and means by how to stop the war also happening on the convention level, because that the beings are being trapped within the convention. We create the convention, we forgot that we have created the convention, and we are bound by the convention. So we have to follow the convention. Any more questions? No? Okay, we stop here. We'll do the end direction prayer. Let us pray that His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the true source of joy and happiness on this earth, that His wishes be fulfilled spontaneously, and that is particularly the wish of the universal ethics, today taking the form of social, emotional, ethical learning, skill learning. May that be picked up by all the institutions, by all the nations, the UNO, so that the future leaders coming out of this program, they'll become extremely sensible, calm, compassionate leaders to embrace each other rather than to fight, have conflict with each other. So also let us pray that all the learning centers of the Buddha's teachings, compassion, and the wisdom of interdependency, may these centers thrive in the activities of study, reflection, and meditation. And may each of the beings, they meet with the teaching of the great knowledge tradition, that the quest for the knowledge to bring them more and more happiness, more and more insightful wisdom for yourself and for others, may these teachings thrive in the minds of all the beings. Let me personally dedicate merits that each one of you, through your concerted effort, be able to soon see the dawn of these two wisdoms within yourself, and that you become such a reliable guide to lead all the demonstration beings towards ultimate happiness. With this mind, let's recite the following verses together. Kare rave gorbe jingam der penda dewa malu chumbe ne chere simwa tenzin gyas shabe zede badu dengyuro je jambe bawe chedara kemba dan kundo sambo tenyan dejin yada gunge jezo da lobjin yawa teta tamje rabdo ngo tusum shebe tamje ngo kala chodo nga ba te dage gewe sawa digun sambo jeje rabdo ngo barake chajo simjore ma ge banam ke gyurish nyamba me baya kone kon show. Okay, we'll say some of these verses from here. I will say this, and others can listen to me, and let your mind flow in these dedications. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness. Okay, if the offline or online, it is on page 294. Page 294. If you have it offline, 294. Maybe one or two pages up down, page 294. And Nicola is helping us to do the screen sharing on the screen for the online participants. Are you good? 294, did you get? Good. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and good. All powerful, generously Tenzin Gyatso, please in mental samsara ends. Just as the brave Manchushri and Samandrabhadra too realize things as they are, also I dedicate all these merits in the best way that I may follow their perfect example. I dedicate all these roots of virtue with the dedication praised as the best by all the Buddhas who appeared in the 3 times, so that I might perform the noble Bodhisattva's deeds. Chanjo Jorem Boche Ma Ge Panam Ge Gyoroche Ge Ba Nyam Ba Me Ba Ya Kone Kondo Pe Barai. May the Supreme Bodhicitta that there is not a race and a rising grow, and may that which is arisen not diminish but increase forevermore. As long as space remains, as long as sentient beings remain, until then may I too remain to dispel the miseries of the world. Due to the merits of these virtuous actions, may I quickly attain the state of Guru Buddha and lead all beings without exception into that enlightened state. I dedicate the merit thus gathered to its realization that is in the prayers of all the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of 3 times, and to the upholding of the Dharma teaching and realization. May in all lives, through the force of this merit, never separate from the 4 wheels of the Mahana vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfect in the 2 stages. With a wish to free all beings, I shall always go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, until I reach full enlightenment. May the poor find wealth, those weak with sorrow find joy. May the fallen find new hope, constant happiness, and prosperity. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from all the illness, and may every disease in the world never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting one another. By the merits that have accumulated, may every single being abandon all forms of wrongdoing and perpetually engage in virtue. May they never be parted from the mind of bodhicitta. May they always engage in the bodhisattva's conduct. May they be cared for by the Buddhas and relinquish the actions of devils. May no living creature ever suffer, come wrong, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled, or their minds ever be depressed. May all the pains of living creatures ripen solely upon myself, and through the might of the Bodhisattva Sangha, may all beings experience happiness. Having dispelled all inner and outer obstacles and downfalls, such as poverty, despair, oppression, cruelty, epidemics, and natural disasters due to environmental degradation, may all beings forever enjoy the glory of peace and happiness. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I share the mind of full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. I go for refuge to Tubal Gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the blessed Buddha in my heart. By the power of practicing and subjugating to you, may all be free from sickness, poverty, and conflicts, and may Dharma and the auspicious proliferate in all the places where we abide. The power of the union of emptiness and compassion is loosely explained by the protector Buddha Dharma and the beings of the land of snows. You are the lotus holder of Tenzin Gyatso. We supplicate you that your wishes are fulfilled spontaneously. May the operations of evil thoughts and deeds of the negative forces of humans or non-humans who harbor malice through perverted prayers against the teachings of the Buddhas be totally vanquished through the power of the truth of three jewels. By their dependent realization, the profound sessions of appearance and emptiness, together with the force of great compassion of the three jewels and the power of the truth, and through the virtue of the infallible law of karmas and their fruits, may this truthful prayer of ours be unhindered and quickly fulfilled. May the teachings of this beneficent one till world's end be unshaken by the winds of evil thoughts. May it always be met by innumerable beings who find the conviction in the teacher by understanding the teaching's true nature. May I never falter even for an instant to uphold the excellent way of the sage, which illuminates the principle of dependent origination through all my births, even giving away my body and life. I, carefully reflecting by what means can I enhance his teaching achieved by the Supreme Savior through strenuous efforts over countless aeons. In all my lives, never separated from perfect gurus, may enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities, stages, and the paths, may accumulate state of Vajradhara. Throughout my future lifetimes, may always be guided by Ramajishri and be able to uphold the Dharma in general and the teachings on dependent origination in particular, even across my life. Deya Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhiswatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Swahatyata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhiswaha. Say it again. Oh,
For Rinpoche, it will be 1 year
oh,
for
oh,
Venerable Geshe.
yeah, of course.
Also request Geshe to dedicate to Venerable Lobsang.
Oh,
Also Venerable Dobon Rinpoche, because
yes, of course.
the founder members of Tushita.
Oh, of course.
To all of them.
In fact, yes, one, the Venerable captures the Subarimbuche, amazing. So, yes, of course, we all have the Rinpoche in our heart and as a guiding light for all of us. And then the Dobum Rinpoche, the most venerable Dobum Rinpoche, amazing. He's, in fact, I would say that he spent the prime of his life to the upliftment of Tibet House, and also the founder member of Tushita. Amazing. So we really need to remember their legacies, and then the Lama Lobsang, who really contributed a lot to to the people who are into Dharma in many ways. Ladakis, medically, politically, from everywhere. He put so much effort, made an enormous contribution in the various ways. So let us always keep them in our mind, and that they should come back again. Their reincarnation should come back. I should come on this planet Earth as soon as possible to be of same service to the humanity, sentient beings, continue to be the guiding light for all of us. This is so important. Yes, of course. Yeah.
Thank you so much
Thank you so
for your
much.
kindness.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
we
Thank
hope
you.
that you'll come back soon to continue with the teachings. 4 sessions next time.
So from this rich interaction, I can see that the yes, of course, is extremely important. Yeah, and I
Really appreciate your effort. As I said earlier, since the time that I actually came to Delhi, otherwise I know Professor Renugaji since long time ago, way before I came to Delhi. Coming to Delhi, then I saw Tushita, and I continue to see how Tushita is managed, how people find, it's so easy, comfortable to come here, and it's just amazing. All these like over 20 something years. 31 years that there's no, they say but the property is not Tushita's property, and then which means that somebody has to fund it. And all these 30 years we did not really have to think about how to make this run financially. So Professor Renugaji make sure that this is run for the last 31 years. Financially we don't really have to take any burden, even we did not really even have to think about it. And this is what she has been actually make it happen all these 31 years. Yes, of course the blessings are there, but then somebody should be on the ground to do it, right? So therefore this is amazing. And then I really profoundly appreciate your incredibly great service to the Buddha Dharma. Please continue, and we all pray that you have a healthy long life. And we are so happy that we have the Nicola here, and that I was telling Nicola that say there's somebody who has some karmic connection with the Dharma. These are the indications. So wherever Nicola is there, there's service to Buddha Dharma happening. For example, how I personally came in contact with the Kala Chakra Center, France, it's all because of Nicola.